Apex Legends streamer His Watson basically wants us to copy Fortnite, and honestly, I don't even blame him. Just a couple days ago, I put out my honest thoughts about the game in its current state, and it seems to have garnered some attention because even His Watson was following suit with something similar just yesterday, saying the following: Apex needs to stop trying to be both casual and a competitive game. Focus the game around competitive and add a sandbox mode for the casuals to make their own content. Season 13 was the most competitive Apex had ever been, and it didn't even last the whole split before they were making changes to make it more casual friendly. Their reasoning was because people were quitting the game at a higher rate or playing less. But of course they were, because the game flips back and forth constantly from being ultra competitive and listening to the pros to ultra casual and being a joke and listening to the casuals. Trying to pander to both audience just makes it worse for both. Pick one, casual or competitive, and just let it ride. Open up a sandbox mode with financial incentive for map makers. If you let people earn commission on your game, they will work for you and make all the casual content you need. Good content will rise to the top and bad will sink to the bottom, and you offload all the risk of releasing major game modes or changes and just hoping that it does well. Too long didn't read. The game can't decide what identity it wants and therefore lacks one entirely. Followed it up by saying, like, genuinely, what is Respawn working towards? I genuinely have no idea what they're trying to do with the game. They have arguably the most fun to watch competitive scene, but the actual rank system is the most casual pile of streaming poo-poo. It's disappointing. Another thing to add is he wasn't the only streamer doing so. Professional player Hackis from Alliance had also went on this massive thread and actually, believe it or not, got a response from Respawn specifically about the matchmaking. So Hackis went on to say, my biggest problem with Apex at the moment personally is matchmaking and the solo experience. Matchmaking at the highest level is way too casual. At matchmaking at the casual level, pubs, mixtape, LTM is way too sweaty. When I queue up in pred lobbies, the queue is almost instant every time, and at the most there are 2 to 3 master / pred squads in the lobby, and the rest of the 50 players are between plat and diamond. This is incredibly easy to tell with the new system that shows you all the ranks in the lobby. And in my opinion, this is really bad, since at the highest level you are supposed to fight the best of the best, meaning preds should play preds. In Apex rank, that just doesn't happen. I can play for 8 hours with my team while another pro team is also grinding for 8 hours, and we'll run into each other a couple of times at most during that time, which is honestly kind of unacceptable in this matchmaking. The fact that there can be multiple pred / pro teams at the highest level queuing at the same time and never finding each other because of matchmaking is really bad and not competitive whatsoever. Sure, queues are faster, but they shouldn't be at that level. If you want fast queues and casual lobbies, that's where pubs are supposed to come in. And in my pred rank games, there are 9 to 12 master and pred players every game. And in my pub games, that's about the same, if not more. So my pub games have the same amount of players as ranked in that high skill level, just no rank points in play, which doesn't really separate the game modes. Now, does it? I suggest, he says, making queues at the highest level a minimum of 5 to 10 minutes so that you can actually get the opportunity to group the best of the best together in a lobby, or get some sort of limit / requirement to make the lobbies better, and make the casual game modes much more relaxed so that you actually feel like you are playing something different. Or just add sandbox to Apex like R5 Reloaded, and you'll have infinite content at a casual level without having to even think about matchmaking. Boom. What did we just say? What have we been saying for years and years? However, on top of that, solo players have nowhere to go. If you don't have a full squad to play with every day in Apex, it is unbearable always, and it always has been. But now people are finally starting to give up because of it, and I don't blame them. I personally think that if we add solo queue ranked to Apex, that so many more players will come back and give the game a chance. He even goes on to talk about console and PC players being, I guess, forced crossplay with solo queue specifically, but he said you can even balance it where you're forced to have 1 to 2 console or PC players per team, but solo queue ranked needs to happen soon, in my opinion. Otherwise, we are losing so many players that have nowhere to go due to not having anyone to play with. He also said, I could be playing and streaming a lot more Apex as well, but I know personally that I don't touch the game until I have a full squad to play with. After all of this complaining, it was somewhat enlightening to see that they at least acknowledged that we are complaining. There was no hope saying we're going to fix it, we're looking in, none of that, but they did at least say, thank you. It is very well articulated as always. This is the first time since this recent wave of doom and gloom, the game's gonna die, everybody's leaving, we're suffering, the matchmaking sucks. Like, don't get me wrong, we've always complained about this stuff, but you guys know there's been a wave recently of all these streamers coming out saying they're worried about the future of the game. This is like the first time we've seen Respawn actually respond to it, and the only thing they have said is thank you. So at least we can say they've heard us. So if it does all come crumbling down, they can't say they were blindsided, because they did at least acknowledge the fact that we're all here speaking. Question is, will they turn that thank you and it was very well articulated translated as always into actual results? Will they actually do what he suggested? Or do you think it's another nothing burger where nothing ever happens? To piggyback on the fans getting incentives and commission and basically making their own maps and such, this literally was a screenshot I got from Fortnite map creators, which can earn money through their island creator program and the support a creator program. Fortnite has been supporting their creators for a very long time, and they have done exactly what his Watson has just said. And that's what someone said, like, look, you just want us to copy Fortnite. But honestly, it's not a bad idea. Fortnite has done something very, very good, and it obviously has reaped the benefits. They just surpassed their most players of a concurrent time of all time, and it's literally older than Apex because they take care of their fan base, whether it be with incentives, commission, or just being a casual player and having a lot of fun, or being a competitive player and having in-game tournaments, or whatever the case may be. Now, I will say that I think Fortnite could probably be even bigger than what it used to be. I remember like back in the old days when it had the World Cup, and like it was like some of the biggest stuff ever, and I don't feel like it's that big like it used to be, at least for the esports scene. I definitely think it could probably grow. Someone in that scene now may be watching and thinking, oh, you got it wrong, it's not blissful, there's a lot of improvement that we still want. Sure, but compared to Apex, they are much better off. Just a couple creators to name here, they are literally making millions of dollars. As of April 2004, Panville was estimated to have earned approximately $20.4 million on the map that they had created in Fortnite. Pretty Boy, as of April 2024, was estimated to have earned approximately $17.5 million, $5.3 million for Andrew, $4.3 million for TBGV TV, and $3.9 million for El Grande Pollo. Now, there was actually a chart that was released as well, and it shows how much more some of these map creators are making, even than the pros and streamers. Some of these people, about 2,000, are making $100 a year. Then you've got about 1,200 making $1,000 a year. About 500 are making 10 grand a year. About 200 are making 100 grand a year. About 100 are making 300 grand a year. About 43 are making $1 million plus annually, and 13 or so are making about 3 million plus annually, and about 5 people are making 10 million plus annually. That's insane, being that they just made a fun little map on the Fortnite creative mode. For those that want to make a full-time living, they have so many great ideas. I mean, I know so many people just in the streaming community, some people even in my own community from stream, that will go on to build great tools for Apex, and they built neat little gadgets and things you could use for private matches. Like, so many good ideas that people just have a passion for, and if they could bring that passion to Apex, who knows what they could make for their career. A lot of these people probably weren't even thinking about money when this idea launched. It just came out in Fortnite, and they said, I really have a passion, I have an idea I want to bring to life, and that idea blew up, and now they're taking care of Fortnite's casual content every single day because they are also being benefited. It's the same construct of YouTube. Fortnite's built its own ecosystem just like YouTube has, and if you build good content like YouTube videos, you can make a full-time living off of it. Who would have thunk it that that's a good idea to give back to your community members that bring and provide value? So yeah, in that aspect, I agree, we should copy Fortnite. Often hear things like the engine just can't support it, or it just can't be done, or it's just harder than you think, whatever the case may be. But I just remind you once again, Solus had made mention as well, all of this is happening already on R5 Reloaded, a free modded version of the game that people that aren't even getting paid for, just doing this out of their own passion, their own free time, that have built this amazing version of Apex that's unfortunately not real, just a modded version. All these fun, quirky ideas already exist. So literally there is no excuse whatsoever other than the fact that EA doesn't want to support it. Another thing I'll add to this list that I think we should copy Fortnite with is its simplicity. Look, I'm all a big fan of the whole hero style battle royale that we have, but I gotta agree with many others that it's getting really complicated. There's so many little caveats, so many things to understand all at once. The abilities are already one thing, so many different legends in the game are another, and then you've got the class system, the perk system, and they're changing so much all the time. And even now, the support class literally has so many abilities in it that the game UI can't even display all of them. And guess what? Next season, it'll be completely different because all of this will get nerfed and changed again, and you can't even keep up with it. So do you agree with streamer His Watson that we should be copying Fortnite and some of these ideas? You believe that pubs and this Fortnite styled map creator idea should be the state of casual content for Apex, and then the rest of ranked should be hardcore competitive one-to-one replicas of ALGS? Do you agree that we're lacking both identities and we're trying to figure out who exactly we're going to be? If you've been around for a while, you probably remember me saying that it's been weird that it's been 5+ years in this game and we still can't figure out what ranked is supposed to be. There is no real base core identity of ranked because it literally changes all the time. So what's it going to be? And do you agree with streamer His Watson? Let me know down below. Like and subscribe if you want to stay up to date with everything going on in the world of Apex Legends, news, drama, stories, and more. And until the next time, we'll see you all later.